this is a super, let's see, okay, good. This is, as we know, a crazy important issue right now, right? And I'm gonna make myself bigger so that I can see if my board is right. Let's see here. Well, Tanya, if you were here, I'd ask you how to do it. Okay, so we'll just go like this. So most of y'all know me, I believe. We got one more coming in. Phone call-in listener. Tanya, do you know how to do that? Allowed to talk. Okay. All right. So we will now go ahead and get started. So I want to let y'all know a little bit about me and why this is important to me. We're all going through this together, right? I don't have to state the obvious, the state of affairs that we're all dealing with. But as a mom and as someone who's in the health and wellness industry, I would like to do my part just to share the knowledge that I have. By no means am I a doctor or, you know, but really by the school of hard knocks. I grew up, my family has a health food store. They've had now for 39 years. I just did the math again the other day. Actually, Luke helped me, Rhonda, you'll laugh. He corrected me because I've been saying 32 years for the longest time. And he's like, Mom, if it was 1981, and I'm like, you're right. So that's been my life before I even knew it was my life. And then for the last 10, 12 years, I physically ran that health food store, which that's where I got my school of hard knocks. There is nothing like sitting through, say, the trainings from the companies that want you to buy their supplements, right? Teaching you why theirs is the best. Then dealing with how customers handle that on the floor, what works for them, what doesn't, you know, being through some of the fads. I've been through some of the things that were fads, and then I've also been through some really tough times. I'm just decided right now, since it's y'all, I'm just gonna be real, okay? Like I'm going off script. I wanna tell y'all, I've been through time periods where we were lied to. And I remember when we were told that garlic wasn't good all of a sudden, only to have 2 years later, this great discovery that garlic was good, but you know, them, whoever they are. L-tryptophan was taken off the market and put back on. So there's so much like stuff, right? And we as humans and individuals that want to do our very best, not just for ourselves, but also for our families, it's just really hard to know, right? It's really hard to know. And the beauty of it is God made us, God made it simple. And if we stay there, we stay in the path that fits the foundational principles that we know in nutrition, that gives us confidence to execute and not get blown every which way. So that's really why I feel so motivated to do this. What got me really excited is because I've been, you know, kind of doom and gloom because we in Fulton County have been, right, Rhonda, we have been out of school for almost 2 weeks now. Last week, we only went to school on Thursday. That's the only day. And then now we're out indefinitely. But being Fulton County, it's going to be one of the first to set the tone for the state. And so it's also been raining here, like nonstop, right? And that doesn't do anything to lift your spirits, and certainly no vitamin D. But yesterday, I went for a run by the river that I like to run, and there were more people. Now, they were social distancing, so I don't want you to get alarmed when I say this, but there were more people out walking their dogs than I have seen really since I've lived here for over a year. And it just warmed my heart. It was that reminder that we are human. We all need each other. We want this to pass. We want to obey the rules. We want to go by the guidelines. We want to protect everybody. But at the same time, we're not meant to be, you know, all holed up by ourselves. We're meant to be getting sunshine on our face. That is the best way to get your vitamin D. And so it just re-amps my perspective a little bit. And I said, you know what, this is something that I can offer, and I would like to be more vocal in the foundations of immune system building, because that is the most important topic, in my opinion, right now of anything. And I'm gonna have a fun way that I'm gonna share that with y'all. I have to think in metaphors. It's how I remember things. I homeschooled for a while, and one of the tricks for that was you always put everything to a song. So you know how like you can remember a song, you remember the words. I mean, I can remember like every word of every song from 10 years ago if you get me singing. So stories work for me. And this is one that I learned a few years ago, and I just re-pulled it out of the hat, so to speak. And I was like, yes, this is so good for right now. It's so simple. And so I just really want to share it with y'all. So y'all know we have a problem, right? We do have a problem as a society, and it's coming. We'd love to think that it's not, but all of the experts are telling us that this is the beginning. You know, you see that bell curve, and it's getting worse, and we're flat out being told it's coming. So that is a problem that all of us have together. And I'm hopeful, and I know that by the end of tomorrow night's session, you are going to be able to, you're going to understand how the immune system works at the basic level. This is going to be very basic, but I really want it to be to the point that you can explain it to someone else. Maybe you can share it with your neighbor. Maybe you can talk to your parents or your grandparents. I want you to be able to package this in such a way that you can help someone else and apply it to yourself, right? Because knowledge is power, confidence is power, and execution is what really gets the job done. Let me make sure there's nobody else. And I told you a little bit about my background. For the past, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 years now, I have upped my game and been coaching on an individual basis. That's how I know Tanya and some of you on here. And that came from a desire really to help people one-on-one. The store was great. I learned all about supplementation and nutritional facts, but I also learned really quickly who's calling people later on to see how they're doing. So I love this the most. And so again, that is why I'm here. But I remember feeling overwhelmed. I remember feeling pulled all which way, right? I told you about going through the fads and the gimmicks. And what broke it down for me, what got me in my lane, is the realization that it's simple. We need to keep it simple. It is an immune system specifically, but that's kind of a big term, right? That encompasses a lot. You hear immune system and you're like, oh my gosh, what are we talking about? Keeping it simple, keeping it high quality, very important, very, very important. Cannot stress that enough. And keeping it layered, right? And that will be what we unpack. 2 out of 6 layers tonight, but they're the first 2. So to me, you know, they're probably the most important in order. So let's get started. So here's what I want to set the stage. So here I am. Why am I wearing a tank top? Well, for one thing, it is hot. But another thing, I want you to get this scenario, play this in your head, because this is the paradigm. This is how we're going to look at this whole layering our immune system situation. So you're here, you're like me, you're just, you're wearing maybe some running pants and a tank top, you're in your house, and you're getting ready for a big day. You have agreed, you have signed up to volunteer, let's say in the neighboring town. And what's going on outside, even though it's warm and cozy in here, is there's a blizzard. You know, it's a storm. It is a storm. You're hearing that it's an all-encompassing storm and people need help. There's electricity that's out. Some roads are blocked. And you've signed up. You've said, I'm going to volunteer and I'm going to take my kids and I want to help. So you know that's coming, right? What are you going to do? It's very simple. And I'm okay with if y'all want to participate as well. What would be the first thing that you would think of doing to prepare to go? Get your clothes on, right? You get your clothes on. So, I mean, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going to go to bed and just get up and go, right? I'm going to start thinking about how am I going to prepare? And I will submit to you that these are going to be probably what you're going to do. Tell me if y'all can see that, okay? Mm-hmm. Are we good? Okay. Yep. So here's what I would do, okay? I would start thinking about how can I layer up? Not only for myself, for my protection, but so that I can be of service, right? If I don't properly dress myself, then I'm not gonna be any good. I'm gonna be cold and worrying about myself and not able to help or maybe shovel that snow or all of those things. So I'm gonna submit to you that we've got about 6 things that we may turn to. This is what I would do. Number 1, I'm gonna put on my clothes. By clothes, I mean sweatshirt, sweatpants, right? And my boots. Whether my boots are waterproof or not is really depending on the situation, but that's probably going to be the first thing, right? Then we're going to grab our coat. Okay, and there we go. Hat, gloves, and scarf. Any excuse to wear a hat, I will take because I love hats. I think they're so fun. Gloves and scarves, and then down here, if you can see that, I would use the extras. This might be your glasses or your goggles, the hand warmer that goes inside of your gloves. Maybe it's your earmuffs, that extra thing for your face. So this is where you're going to do what makes you extra comfortable. But really, in order here is, I believe everybody would do, not for yourself, but also for your family, right? And here's what I love. Layering actually works because the layers are trapping the air, right, between them. But here's what's really going on. Multiple thin layers working together are stronger than one really thick layer, right? We know that. We already know that. We've been taught that since we were small. And remember earlier on I said when something fits in the foundational principles that you already know, pay attention because that's really a trail you want to keep moving down. As we know in health and wellness, it is not a one-size-fits-all. There is no pill for an ill. It is always the layering of our habits. It's always that. So that makes sense to me that that would be what protects us the best as well. So, all right, so here we go. We are going to first talk about our clothing. So I'm a Georgia girl, and I didn't realize it, but it kind of does seem like everything I have is red, right? I know, right? Go Dogs. All right, so I'm gonna put on my clothes. I'm probably gonna start with my sweatshirt, put on my sweatpants. I got my UGG boots, right? This is my first layer in our analogy for getting ready to go help in that blizzard, right? My first thing I'm gonna do. Well, for our immune system, how this layers, right, where that falls in is I want you to think of that first line of defense, your clothing, maybe it's even thermal underwear if I had some. That, when it comes to your immune system, that's gonna be your food. Your food, what you put in your mouth is your first line of defense for your immune system. There's nothing more important. And so you know that, that's empowering because you are in control of what you eat. And specifically, when we're going to dive into what foods really build that immune system, there's so many areas we could go with this, but when we're talking immune system, there is one thing that matters the most, and it's this fun word right here, antioxidants. That is it. When we're talking immune system, that's what you want to go after. And how do you know? That sounds like a big crazy word, right? Well, my teacher friends here would love my little Roy G. bib that I pulled out right here. All the colors of the rainbow. It doesn't take a science degree to know foods that are high in antioxidants. It's the ones that are bright in color, okay? Since we're in this class, I'll go on and say there's a, I guess it's an antioxidant called anthocyanins. Those are the little guys that give the food their color. So the fact that it has color is the indication that it's high in antioxidants. So I hope that makes sense. But just know if you're eating foods that are bright in color, you are on the right track. Now, I'm not dissing on cauliflower. To me, that's right in there. It has its home. But if you think of foods that you know have no nutritional value, usually they're pretty bland, right? They're just kind of one, right? Like whatever that McDonald's color is, that's what they are. You want to look at your plate and see the whole rainbow. That means when you can do that, you know you're on the right track. And really, it's because antioxidants are the most critical thing for your immune system. There are studies that show specifically weakened immune systems have lower levels of antioxidants. Lower levels of antioxidants equal weakened immune system. In fact, when you hear that the elderly are more of a high risk because of a weakened immune system, it's that. It's right there. So when we get to supplementation, that's something that we want to think about, right? Because we can get our antioxidants from our vitamins. So when it comes to food, okay, they're right here, but I want to dive a little deeper into, and I got so many pages going here, y'all gonna have to deal with me being a little crazy with these pages because I keep adding more. Okay, so let's talk a little more about what is an antioxidant, okay? Antioxidant, anti-oxidation, okay? That's what it is. So what's oxidation, right? So antioxidant stops oxidation. What is oxidation? This made sense to me when my dad explained it to me. He's a PhD in microbiology. He's one of these men that when you ask him a question, he says, do you want a sentence, a paragraph, or a page? And growing up, we're like, sentence, Dad, don't go forever. But he does. And he said, okay, oxidation, think of rust. when metal gets old, especially down by the beach because of the environment, it rusts, it oxidizes. So when you think of oxidation, just think not good, right? It's stuff getting old. It's aging. It's letting off toxins. It's a chemical process. So it's really the opposite of what we want. So the result of oxidation are these items we're just going to call free radicals. I like to call them the bad guys, okay? These are what we don't want. So the reason antioxidants are good, I got a little Pac-Man right here, okay? To me, these free radicals are the little Pac-Man bad guys. See that? I think it's Snapchat too, but I'm not going there. So this is our free radicals. They're the bad guys. They damage our cells. They are toxins. They set in our joints. They create inflammation. Inflammation is the root of all disease. Inflammation is a result of too many free radicals. So get this, when we have too many bad guys, we can't fight infection. We have a higher inflammation and our immune system is down. So it's that easy of a story. Antioxidants are Pac-Man. They're going to go in and eat up the free radicals. So when you're eating that plate that's full of, good, next page, full of all these bright colors, that's what you're doing. You've just given Pac-Man, what is it, when he runs over that little thing and he can eat the ghost, that's what you're doing. You've just given your body that boost. And I love starting with greens. What are the best ones? There are so many, but here's the ones that I keep in my kitchen and I use all the time. Start with your greens, okay? Spinach. I had to add seaweed because seaweed is such a nutritional powerhouse. We could talk about that for an entire hour. But spinach, I believe, is the easiest to use. I try to put it on every plate and just stick whatever I'm eating on top of it. It doesn't matter what it is. Somehow fresh spinach underneath it works. I put this in my smoothies every morning. I know that I need more of what's in spinach, including folate, which is a whole nother discussion. This guy to me is always in my fridge, but maybe you're an arugula person, you're a kale person. Kale is phenomenal. Get your leafy greens, okay? Start there. Broccoli, green tea is super high in antioxidants. Remember again, we're going after our antioxidant foods. Bright colors, red, peppers, okay? Get you some Chico's peri peri sauce. Red, hot, spicy peppers are so good for you, right? But then also the other peppers that don't have spice. Red, orange, yellow bell peppers. Beets, I love me some beets. Blueberries, garlic, ginger, turmeric. So you hear of all these things, and maybe it's, some people go all in, like all they want to do is learn about turmeric, and it's great to learn about it, but these are not in separate categories. They each have what they're uniquely wonderful for, right? Blueberries are specifically good for your eyes. Ginger, it's good for so many things. Your tummy. Garlic is really good for your heart, but what they all have in common is they're packed full of antioxidants. Is that making sense? Yeah? So when it comes to that first layer of clothing that we want, it's food, and it's foods that are high in antioxidants, because antioxidants are anti-inflammatory, okay? High antioxidants, high immune system. All right, so that's gonna be it for our first layer, okay? Then, let's go back. And like I said, tonight I'm doing 2 out of 6. Tomorrow night we're going to do 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, where are we at? There's the hat and the, oh, don't look. All right, number 2. Number 2 is the coat. That's the coat. Yes, these are all important, but man, oh man, there is no way I'm going out in my blizzard without a good coat. So I'm going to go, I said everything's red in my house. So I'm grabbing this one. I know I'm going out in a blizzard. I don't know if it's going to be like stormy and windy and blowing in my face. I don't know if, the sun's going to be shining, but tons of snow on the ground. I'm not sure, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to grab my Gore-Tex that I got when I was in Alaska. A long time ago. I'm grabbing the good one because quality matters. It seals up. I've got a good foundation for my coat. So when it comes to our analogy, the coat is your vitamins, okay? So let me stop right here and dispel a myth. People will say, vitamins do not prevent the illness. Vitamins will not prevent you from getting this virus, right? And I'm going to say, you know what? I agree. I never said they prevented them. Just like this coat is not going to prevent me from getting sick. Can I still get sick if I wear this coat? Even in the blizzard, right? It can still happen. Other things can happen. But my goodness, what is this coat going to do for me? This is giving me protection, giving me support, keeping me warm, right? If my internal temperature drops so low, then yeah, I'm going to be more prone to get that illness. So no, it doesn't directly prevent it, but goodness gracious, who in the world wouldn't want their coat in the middle of a blizzard? And so let's see, yeah, does the quality of your coat really matter? Does the quality of your vitamins really matter? Absolutely. Will it prevent it? No. Will vitamins prevent it? No, but it's the best thing you can do to empower your body to fight off that infection. It's like you're going into a battle. You better put your armor on. And that's what your vitamins are. I love to give the analogy many times when people might be looking, and this is kind of an aside, looking for energy or better sleep or maybe some improvement in their hair, their skin, their nails. All of these things really, the analogy I like to give, it's like a runoff of a sponge. If you haven't saturated that sponge with the vitamins that your body needs, okay, there's not going to be any extra. So you need to layer up in such a way that you've got extra reserves in the event of an emergency, which we all know we're kind of headed towards, right? So vitamins protect us like a coat. They will support our immune system. A quality coat equals better protection. And got to throw this in there because Duff like, this is so cool. Can you imagine if I was able to order whatever coat I needed every month? Think how cool that is. With the vitamins that we have at ID Life, and this is just the truth because I am crazy and I'm like, I can't stop. The technology and science behind the ID Nutrition, which is personalized vitamins, my name's on them right there, is the equivalent of me being able to say, okay, the storm that I'm going to tomorrow is in Webster City, Iowa, which is where my family has a farm. And let me tell you what Webster City, Iowa is like. It's about an hour north of Des Moines. Let me tell you what that's like in February, okay, even March. This, I mean, I better have it all, okay, with the inners and everything. What if I'm headed over, you know, to maybe, I don't know, somewhere else that's a little more moderate? Maybe I'm that month, maybe for that trip, I'm going to maybe cut some more vents in it, take out the extra lining. What if I'm allergic to certain materials and I'm able to say, let's keep those out of this coat? That is what we have with our personalized nutrition, which I'm going to get into a little more on the other screen. But think how amazing that is to protect yourself. Let's see if my... Where are we? Here we go. So when it comes to the vitamins, which ones do we need, okay? There is so much information out there, but all the major experts out there really hone in on these three when we're talking about our immune system. Zinc, C, and vitamin D3. You have probably heard that. And I want you to take a guess. Raise your hand if you know. All three of these could be called what? I'll give you a hint, Pac-Mans. They are all three antioxidants. How cool is that? They all have the little Pac-Man ability to run around our body, gobbling up the bad guys. Like, oh, ding, ding, ding. Okay, that's making a little bit of sense. Each one has its own particular function too, right? It's an antioxidant. You got zinc is so, it's antiviral. C is so good for so many things. Tanya, you could do more on that. I am a big D3 person. D3, vitamin D, is so important. And what it really boils down to is our entire, aside for a second, our entire immune system is in our gut, right? I think we all probably know that at this stage, that the immune system's home lies in our gut. But did you know that over 90%, and I've heard really high, closer to 100, I'll say over 90% of the systems, the functions that need to fire in order to power up our immune system need vitamin D. It's almost like the key that starts the engine of the immune system for almost the whole thing, okay? So we need that vitamin D. We need it in our vitamins. We need to get at least 20 minutes of sun, not burning, but we need at least 20 so our body can make our vitamin D, and we need to get it in our foods. Don't you know a lot of the foods that I just showed you are gonna be high in these nutrients as well. It all goes together and it starts making sense. So D3 is necessary for the firing of your immune system. Also, probiotics and digestive enzymes, right? There's the vitamins that we need to have our full armor on. You know, it's not everything in the store, but you know, it's a decent little list. These guys here, your probiotics and digestive enzymes, are going to help enhance the area of your gut so that your immune system living there is able to be nice and strong. And when it's talking about vitamins, going back to the personalization part, do y'all mind if I take this off? I'm dying in here. So I get passionate when I talk about this part because I experienced it so many times. And when I think about what we're going through right now, especially with those that are in the at-risk category, the more elderly generation, you know, I'll say that. This is who this really applies to in the scenario I'm about to explain to you right now. There have been so many times, I can't even tell you, over the 10, 20 years of running the store, that I would watch an elderly woman or man, but it seemed to be, I remember the women more. I think the men sent the women in the store while they were waiting in the car. But she'd come up to the counter with her, you know, with her vitamin C bottle, and I'm peppermint, something just very simple, and ask me, you know, sweetie, is this going to interfere with my medication? And I had to say what I have to say, which is, I don't know, go ask your doctor. But what I want to say is that vitamin C, you need that vitamin C. Let's actually, maybe we could take a look at your medication. But I'm not a doctor, so I never could do that, nor would I. But you see how that's kind of messed up? I've also learned even more recently, if you have a condition, that increases your need for your nutrients, right? And many times, like let's say if you're taking a diabetes vitamin, it's because it's addressing the fact that diabetes is robbing you of certain nutrients. So if you have a problem, your need for this is even greater. But look at what's happening. We have conditions, and now we're taking medications for them that are creating so much fear, we're not going to get the vitamins we need, and we're totally exacerbating the problem, making it 10 times worse. And my heart just broke that I couldn't just say, you know, yes, you can take that emergency packet, but I didn't know. Right? So in this health assessment, the reason I keep going back to this is liberating, and this is this can be the answer for so many people, because in the health assessment that's determining what you want, one of the last question that it asks is what medications you're on. And at that point, let's put this in the instance of the lady in the vitamin C I just told you, had I had this then, I could have said, just come with me 1 minute. Let's do this free little questionnaire. We would have put in her medication, and it would have kicked out anything she wasn't allowed to have as a contraindication with the medication, and I bet you she'd have gotten her vitamin C. So this to me is an answer that can literally save lives. Also, the fact that it is, remember I had that jacket on and I said, what if I could adjust it every month? Well, I just went back into mine and checked off that yes, I am concerned about my immune system right now, where before I had said no. So, you know, there's nothing more exciting. So every chance I get, that's what I'm going to talk about. I love the personalized nutrition, and it's why I love doing this so much right now at this time. So let's see, all right, so that's my spiel on the vitamins. You know, there is also, other than the personalized nutrition, there's an immune system pack that you can access that has zinc, vitamin D3 and C, and that's really cool because we know we all need those right now. So let me just recap here that we've got our 6 layers. We've done these 2 tonight. These I wanted to spend more time on because these are the big guys. You gotta eat. You're gonna eat every day, so make sure that you're focusing on eating the right foods. And you know, there's lots of discussion out there. I heard people say you don't have to take your vitamins. Well, you know, you don't have to brush your teeth. But if you want to live your best life, and especially now, I'm really passionate about it because people need to get their coat on. They do. And if I don't shout that loudly, then I'm going to be held responsible, in my opinion, for that, because I know that it's a truth that can help people. We're going to go over these 4 tomorrow night, and we got hat, gloves, scarves, and the extra. These are fun, so don't miss it. At the end of tomorrow night, there will be a giveaway. We're going to just draw randomly from the names on here, 2 bottles of DeChico sauce and 2 jars of natural almond nut butter. Need I say? Oh, it's so good. So good. And then I want to just end here with a few thoughts that are coronavirus specific, right? We've been talking broad topic immune system. But some things that are current right now. We've done antioxidants, right? You got that. We drilled that hard. Glutathione is a great one that you want to add as well. It's like the master antioxidant. But this whole situation that we're in, that we're really stressed out, our bodies were designed we have the fight or flight in us, and it's by design. If you were just walking in the woods and you were nice and relaxed and you bumped into a bear, right? Our bodies were designed to handle that situation properly. You'd get pumped with adrenaline, right? Your cortisol levels would rise, and you could probably just jump over a tree, right? But the problem is, we're not supposed to be living in that state all the time. And when we do, cortisol levels are high. We'll talk more about this tomorrow night, but cortisol going up means immune system going down. It's a direct suppression of the immune system. It causes us to gain weight, but it also really messes up our adrenal glands. So there's lots of reasons why we should not stay constantly stressed out, okay? But right now, I think we feel it when we go to the grocery store. I think I feel it when I turn on the news. I mean, seriously, like 3 times today, I turned on and saw a headline so shocking, I just wanted to cry. And so we're living in that state right now. So more than ever, it's important to try to calm down, but also to get those nutrients that we need. They are truly needed now more than ever. Now couple that to the fact, Tanya told me earlier in her grocery store, I think when Benji went, all of the canned ravioli was out, right? All of the stuff that's going to last forever. Well, let me tell you, the nutritional value of that, that's just calories. That's not nutritional value. So when you go, in order to help yourself stay healthy, stay calm, go to the grocery store and shop for your nutrition, okay? Go to the broccoli, go to the greens, go to that list first. If they're out, go to the frozen section. That's next best. And maybe they're out of everything red, but you can get a couple heads of broccoli. I was going to share I'll share this now. One way, like right now, we've probably got too much produce in our house, because that's what I'm making sure that I have, because that's what I don't want to run out of. But the truth is, some of it may start, I don't know if we can eat it fast enough. So I'm going to make a couple pots of soup. You can make a big vegetable soup that's heavy on the vegetables. You can put your zucchini in there, your fresh tomatoes, your onions. You can freeze that. Or I can make a couple batches of a cream of broccoli soup. I have a recipe for that that's actually dairy-free. I can make a couple batches of that and freeze that. So these are things you might want to think about, because in the event, if you are stuck in your house for a couple weeks, that's great if we've got, 3 months worth of pasta. But when your fresh foods run out, hopefully you're taking your vitamins, but think if you're not, what if you're crazy stressed out and all you're giving yourself is like canned raviola, pasta, beans, can I say constipation? Because that's what would be happening here. And that's not going to make me any more relaxed, right? So you've got to think about that. And then what if, shop for your nutrients, fresh, frozen, then vitamins. Understand that getting your nutrients from your vitamins does count, okay? That might be your third wall of defense for this. And then what if you do get sick, right? What if you are sick, you do get sick, and you can't get to the store, and you can't get to the store, and you can't take, you can't even think about what you're thinking about right now. So, not freak out, but preparedness is really wise right now. Preparing for keeping yourself and your immune system at its highest level in the event that you should need it. If you face that blizzard, if you get to that next town in this story, if you get there, are you going to be able to stop and look at yourself and your children or whoever's with you and say, we did the best we can. This thing is tough, but you know what? I got on my good clothes. I got on my Georgia sweatshirt. I got on my great coat. I got on my hat, my scarf. If you can say that, you are going to be able to weather that storm, right? Now imagine showing up in what I started with, right? In my little tank top and my running pants. You're not going to be good for anybody. In fact, people will probably have to take care of you. So I love that analogy. It'll make sense even more tomorrow night when I put on my hat and my gloves. They're red. And my scarves, red, Atlanta United. And my glasses. Some of y'all may have seen that picture today. It makes a whole lot more sense. Yeah, and I just hope that helps you break that down and kind of have the knowledge to not be pulled in all the different directions. And when we get to layer 6, the extras, that's going to make a lot of sense too. So do y'all have any questions? Whoop. I'm unmuting it.
So good, Heather D.
Thank
so good,
you,
so good, so simple. We can wrap our head around it. I love the way you position that, especially reminding us to eat the rainbow, because it does, you know, when people are preparing for a couple of weeks, they tend to go for the super bland, and then the vitamin piece. All of it was so good.
Yeah, and anything you want to add, anybody, please.
Love to see you post that recipe.
I would.
Oh, that's what I wanted to do. For those that are on here, if you haven't, drop your email or text it to me. Make sure I get your email, because I want to email each of you several recipes, the ones that I referenced in here, right? And then we'll do more tomorrow night too when we get into the, you know, the other stuff. So that's
okay. And y'all, Heather was talking about the almond butter, and at her recommendation, I bought that. It is off the chain, but the DeChico's sauces are also off the chain. So Heather, will you tell them about DeChico? Yes, tell them about that. We had never heard of DeChico's before, and we got a gift in the mail from the DeChico family, and we and Benji was the first to try, because Benji is all about sauces. So he beat me to it, but then I fell in love too. Will you tell them about that particular, about what you're holding up? But that's not just the only one. There's a lot that we enjoy.
We have 7 flavors. So the story with this is 15 years ago, I didn't know anything about it either. But I met my husband here in Atlanta, and he's from South Africa. And the first time he ever cooked for me, he made me chicken with peri-peri sauce. And I'm like, huh? You know, okay, whatever. Then after we got married, I realized this was something that was very big to him, and the desire to bring a staple that he grew up on in South Africa here to America. And really in his business mind was just going, this is crazy. It is so hugely successful internationally, and it's not here. So it was just in his heart to just really start the sauce business. And so we got took a couple back and forths with South Africa. We got the original recipes from there. I mean, my first batch was a pot, just a soup pot, and Allie was in a baby Bjorn. I remember that. So I remember being like, oh no, we can, I was like worried their feet were going to get hot or whatever, but I'm like trying to stir, and I got my little, I don't know, 6 or 8 month old, and she's now about to be 15. So that's how we started, and we took it from our home kitchen to, we built out a kitchen where we were making 40-gallon pots, and now thankfully we outsource it to a company that can make it as good as we can. And so it's just been a real experience in entrepreneurship. And what's really cool is it is healthy. I mean, it's cool. It's, if it wasn't, I don't think that we'd still be doing it, but it's so healthy. It's fresh. Peppers in there are super, super good for you. We use the whole lemon. So you're getting all of that, the oils, right? The essential oils from the lemon peel and all that extra vitamin C in the bright yellow part, that's in there. We just throw the whole thing in there and grind it up. So it's just really fun. And so then whenever we moved back to Augusta about 10 years ago, opened up a restaurant based on this sauce, really just thought, yeah, that'll be fun. I'm in here anyway. I was running the health food store, and the restaurant's inside the store. So I'm like, that'll be great. It turned into it's not like it's lines out the door, but put it this way, people in Augusta need their DeChicos. Like when I try to close, they're mad. It's like, don't mess with my DeChicos. So it's like, it's become kind of its own unique little thing. So now it's just fun. So it's good.
How do you describe peri-peri flavor?
The flavor of the pepper itself or the sauce?
The sauce.
I would
Because
say,
when I heard sauce, I was thinking it'd be so hot and I wouldn't be, because it was different than anything I'd ever had before. It's
so
like,
its signature.
it's a flavor.
Let me see if I have one here. Its signature ingredient is a pepper, but that's not what it's about. This is a sauce that has so much flavor, because if you saw the ingredients that really go in, you'd be like, oh, darn, that's almost like soup, you know? I mean, we start with like garlic and onions and all of the spices, and we let all that marry, and we put in the peppers, you know, and then only add the liquid at the end. So we really build it like you build a soup. It's a marinade and a flavorful sauce that happens to have a little heat.
That's
I love it.
I know Rhonda's got some too.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah. So that's really fun. And I love that it is, you know, that it's, you know, it's good. And I got a story. I need to figure out how to share it on social media, but there was a time when we were moving and I had nothing in my kitchen as far as spices, no salt, no pepper, no nothing, only our sauce, because I think it was probably in the trunk of my car. And I was able to truly make do, I mean, for days, using this as the only flavoring. And I remember thinking like, that's really cool, you know, because there's so much flavor in it. If you use it, you really don't need anything else. It's got everything.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You know, Heather, when I made that cauliflower recipe with the sauce, I don't use mayonnaise. So I didn't have the mayonnaise. So I really I had to skip that part of it, but the sauce is so flavorful. I feel like I didn't miss anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for
It
sure.
was really good.
Yeah. And do you do Greek yogurt?
Who, me?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You could probably just sub out the mayo for that.
Okay.
And we do actually veganese in the restaurant, like because
Okay.
you know, it's a chicken restaurant. A lot of people are vegan and they come there all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good. So are y'all going to be able to hop on? Are y'all going to be able to join us tomorrow? Everybody that's on here now?
Yep. See you tomorrow.
And I'll do my best not to go over either, but yeah, it'll be good. And invite your friends. We can, actually, I'm recording this. Tanya, should I post it anywhere? Maybe I can email it. Maybe I can email it to you. So that way, if you have a friend that does want to join tomorrow night and you would like to catch them up to speed, then, you know, you can do that. Sound good?
Love it.
All
Very
right.
good.
Love y'all. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody. Love you. Bye.
Love you more.
Bye.
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 Night, night.